When I was just 11 years old, I started picking stocks, but I had the wrong idea about it. Back then, I believed stocks were all about prices going up and down. I'd spend hours charting them, reading books on technical analysis. I even went through hundreds of pages of Edwards and Magee, over and over again. For nearly 8 years, I thought the key was predicting stock movements, guessing what the market would do next. Then everything changed when I discovered Ben Graham. I was about 19 or 20 years old when I read The Intelligent Investor, and that book completely rewired my thinking. From that moment on, I stopped buying stocks and started buying businesses. It didn't matter to me whether the stock price went up tomorrow, next week, or even next year. I focused on the long-term value of the business, not the short-term noise of the market. What I realized is, you don't have to be a genius to succeed at investing. If you're smart, passionate, and have the right mindset, you can do really well. You don't need an IQ of 170. In fact, that might even hurt you. A solid 120 IQ and the right perspective are more than enough. The mistake most people make is thinking of stocks as lottery tickets, buying something in hopes it'll go up next week. That's the wrong approach. I buy businesses with a 10 or 20-year horizon, and honestly, I hope the price goes down when I'm buying. That just means I can get more for less. Since March 11th, 1942, when I made my first investment, I've never had less than 80% of my net worth in American businesses, what most people call stocks. But I don't see stocks. I see ownership in companies. I don't need 5 houses or dozens of cars. I'd rather live in one home and own a piece of a great business. What truly brings me happiness is doing what I love. And for me, that's investing. I enjoy 2 things in particular. I love knowing that with patience and discipline, I'll win over time. And I love earning the trust of people I work with, my partners. Here's something to think about. What if the stock market didn't exist? Imagine buying companies the same way you'd buy a farm or a rental property, privately, with no ticker symbol flashing in front of you every second. You'd focus on the actual value of the business, not what someone's willing to pay for it tomorrow. That's the mindset shift that most investors need. And despite all the ups and downs, look around. The US economy has continued to grow. Wealth has increased. Even those in the bottom percentiles today live better than John D. Rockefeller did when I was a child. Today, you've got access to better healthcare, entertainment, education, even a better lifestyle than the richest man in the world had back then. When I was born, dentists didn't use Novocaine. That's how far we've come. The American system, capitalism, combined with a governing structure, has created unbelievable progress. Think about it. Just a few lifetimes ago, the US was less than 1% of the world's population. Fast forward, and this small portion of humanity now produces over 20% of the world's wealth. That's the power of a productive system, evolving with time, despite wars, depressions, pandemics, and everything in between. The key takeaway? You don't need to pick individual winners. If you're investing for the long term, the best move most people can make is putting money in an S&P 500 index fund. But what happens? We get tempted by exotic funds, sectors, countries, industries, and suddenly we're doing exactly what we're trying to avoid, making bets we don't fully understand. Jack Bogle had it right. Keep it simple. Invest in the whole market. Don't try to outsmart it. Invest like you're buying a business. Think long-term, stay consistent, and most of all, stay rational.